Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Appreciate you tuning in once again. So we're doing a little tutorial. More so, I'm going to show you how I do these, I guess. That's a lot of stuff we've all done before. But we're doing some window detailing. So what we're going to do is paint the black on this first. So I have two windows here. These windows are actually out of the '89 Ford Probe Kit by AMT. So we have the model sitting here. This is almost done. I just got to do some detail work around here yet and around the back. As you can see, it says remove on the back panel here because that's holding this roof up. Because once you take that out, those A-pillars are not very strong to hold that. The glass actually holds that in. So that's ready to go. But these are the glass. This is the glass out. So I got multiple kits here. So I had this taped up and I thought, you know, probably be easier so you can see what we're working on here. So what we're doing is we're painting the black. You can see where the kind of like the frosted areas are in the glass. Because on the real car, that's where the window support would be, and obviously holds that roof up. And we're going to do is get this painted. So I have this one all taped up so we can paint that, and we're going to paint that in black. And once that's done, we're going to go back through with some Tamiya smoke, and we're going to paint the rest of the windows right over top of that black, and that should look pretty good. Should look pretty good on that white car. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take it over the paint booth and we're going to get started on it. All right, guys, we are paint booth side. So we're going to get this painted. We're going to use the Tamiya LP5. This is a lacquer semi-gloss black. This should look really good in there. And we are going to mix this with the lacquer thinner by Tamiya. And for all those keeping track, this is item number 87077. Good stuff. We are using our Gallery Mobius 0.3 airbrush. I love this airbrush. It works handy for a lot of workhorse stuff, and it's great. I use this for a lot of my smaller detail. It works really nice. We are going to spray this with 19 psi of air pressure, and I'll get this mixed up and we'll get started. Mixing is just a 50-50 for you guys out there. We're just doing a 50-50 mix on it, and we're not going to use a lot. We're just going to do a little small mix because this shouldn't take much to do the job. All right, guys, as always, I love to do spoon testing on everything. I don't care if it's big or small. I like spoon testing. I know a lot of guys are like, whatever, but I tell you, it helps me know that it's going to spray right, cover right, and everybody's going to look good, and my airbrush is operating good, and all that fun stuff. Let's get started. Should we glove up? Probably, but I'm not going to. It's not that big a deal. Just going to give it some light coats. Getting some splatter going on there. So the windows, biggest thing is you don't want to rush it. Just multiple light coats, that's all you need to do on these. If I can hang on to it. I see I didn't tape it there, so caution on me. See that shiny? No tape. Careful. Give this inside one more hit and we should be good. We'll do the headliner while we're there. I guess I didn't think about that. I left it unmasked for a reason, right? We should be about out of paint. There we have it. Just enough. Perfect. I'll get this cleaned up and we'll tip the tape off and we'll get onto the smoke. Smoke, smoke, smoke. Alright, guys, we stuck it in the dehydrator for a little bit. And we're going to peel this off and we'll see what it looks like, see what kind of damage we got here. So it's lacquer. It didn't take very long, obviously, to bake it. So it don't matter what you put on the inside of glass. It could be flat black, it could be whatever. It's going to look glossy, obviously, on the plastic side. Just leave this on here. But I got thinking, too, I actually forgot. These two strips need to be painted here, but I don't know if it's really going to matter that much. It might. It might. So we'll see. Because this is flat out here. So you're going to see the difference between that gloss glass versus the paint. Obviously, we're going to tint this. But I need this clear on the other side so I can see how the tint is. If you guys ever painted the tint before, you almost need to see a little bit of what you're looking at just to see the difference in how dark it's getting. So I'll get this off here and we'll take a look and see what we got after the fact. And we'll run with that. Now on this side of it, we got to be careful not to scratch our black paint. So we're just going to kind of just dig it in the middle a little bit there and pull it out that way. So you can see we got a little bit of hazing here from the tape. So we're going to have to clean that out before we get putting anything else down. Which is kind of surprising because usually to me a tape doesn't usually leave too many side effects. But every once in a while you get something in there. I've taken this off multiple times trying to get it in the right spot. Probably just something that got a little bit in there, but that's okay. Well, like I say, we'll go back and clean it all up, make sure it looks good. And there we have it. It looks pretty good. I just got thinking, and I'm not sure why I was doing this, but that is the reason here is because of the dehydrator. Some of the adhesive was starting to come off in the dehydrator. So a lot of times, I'll be honest with you, I usually take the tape off before I put it in there to avoid this. But we're trying to rush it along tonight and try to get done with it. So there we have it anyway. So that's the glass. That should look pretty good in there. So I'm going to take this over the bench. We're going to get this cleaned off. Alright guys, so I'll show you real quick. We'll get some of that residue off there. You can see it in the glass. So I dipped a little bit of my polish on this, just Meguiar's Ultimate Polish. And just put a little bit on there with the Q-tip. You know, you don't want to go too much into the black. It's not going to hurt it if you get on there. As long as it's cured okay, it's not going to hurt it really at all. But it's amazing how much this stuff will take off of anything. You can get a little bit of paint on there. The polish will actually take that off pretty good. If it's not obviously the thick paint, but if you have a little misting of it. So we got our side windows here, so we'll grab a little bit off here. And go a little here. Yeah, this was my doing because I put it in the dehydrator. I should have known better. So that's why I got the adhesive, because normally I wouldn't get adhesive off Tamiya tape. But that was my bad. Whoopsie on me. But hey, these things happen. I'm showing you what you can do to resolve that. A little more on this one here, probably a little more than I need. So we'll go here. And the nice thing about this polish, you know, you may think it's like wax, but it's polished. So you can actually paint over it and it doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't like fish eye on you or anything like that. It just goes with the flow and looks nice. So we'll get that somewhat close, and then we're going to go through with the towel and polish it off there. And then we're going to tape that front windshield and we'll paint it. So we got to be careful by polishing glass because it will crack on you from the heat, from you cranking on it, you know. Because I have had it happen many times, so I can contest to that very easily. Alright, so we're going to try that. Let me get a towel. We'll wipe her out. So once again, you just got to be careful, you know, with the edges of it. As you can see, that took that off there. Just got to do a little more cleanup on it and we're good to go. And you can go over that black paint. It's not going to hurt it. But you can see that took that off pretty nice. Once that polish dries a little bit, we'll give it another little quick buff. And I'll take that out of there pretty good. See, my problem is I push down on it too hard because I'm like, come on, let's go. And I end up breaking it. But obviously, if you're real easy with it, you're not going to have a problem with it. So there you have it. They cleaned up really nice. Looks, plus you're giving it that nice polished look, so it'll be just nice and clean in the end. Kind of what you want anyways. So we'll get to see how this looks. If we've got a little spot we have to go back over, we'll hit it again. Because you don't want to give a spot in there and then you realize, oops. So I'm looking at this here. I actually did not go up as far as I should have with the tape. But it's not going to be a big deal. Wow, way to pay attention. Well, these things happen. So I'm just going to give this a little bit more. Just a little. That one's kind of dried out. I might have to go get another little dab on the, because I can see a little bit of edging right here on the top. Let me go dip this a little bit more. I actually dipped it a lot more, but that's okay. So we'll get in there real nice. So just showing you guys what works real good. Just because these things happen. You know, if there's a hard way, I'll find it and I'll report to you and show you what happened. But there's ways to fix everything, so everything's got to usually there's a way around it. So like I say, you can go on the black, it's not going to hurt it as long as it's dried. I'll just kind of go all the way with that one more time, but up in here is what we really need to concentrate on. And I thought here looked a little fuzzy, not a big deal. But polish works really good. I mean, that's a good cleaner for your glass. Plus, like I mentioned, you're polishing it on top of it, which you're wanting to do anyways, because you want that nice showroom shine on your windows before you assemble it. Alright, that's good enough. Okay, so we'll wipe this off one more time. Trying to get the towel situated so it's not just a big ball in my hand. So we'll take and we'll wipe that right at the edge of that window. Like I said, that paint's pretty robust. As long as it cured good, you should be okay. As you can see, I'm going right over top of it at this point. Because now I can trust it. I know it's not going to go anywhere on me. So it looks really nice. We'll let that dry out just a little bit. So we'll get the side done. We'll actually hit this too. Just make sure there's nothing in there from the previous, from when I had tape on that. Looks pretty good. And like any polish, we'll let that set for a second and we'll go through and do a quick buff on it and we should be ready to paint. I'm just going to throw a strip of tape across that windshield just so we can keep it in the clean standing. Like I say, I'm going right into the paint, onto the corners, and it cleans that up really, really nice. So we're doing the front windows too, so we're going to make sure those are clean. And there we have it. That looks pretty good. Now once we get all done, we're going to go through and we'll polish the outside real good. I painted the strip here, but I may come back and paint that just so it doesn't have that shine to it. I'm not sure yet, because I forgot that spot. I missed it. But that looks pretty nice. We can do the outside a little bit, make that look good, but more so worried about the inside right now. So I'm going to get some paint mixed up, show you what we're using. Obviously, you know we're using Tamiya, but something different that I don't normally use. Alright guys, we got that taped up. Just a quick tape job across the front, that's all we need. So what we're going to do is get a glove put on, and I'll show you what we're going to use. I mentioned before, I showed you some of those gallery Kaleido paints. They're water-based. This is acrylic Tamiya. I went to the store to get some, and they did not have any of my lacquer, so I had to get this stuff here, and I thought, oh. But it works just as good. So we have some of the thinner that goes with it. So this is X19 is what this one is. And like I say, we're using the thinner. For everybody keeping track at home, this is item 81040. You use these together. So once again, this mix is just like lacquer. We're going to do, it's supposed to be a 50-50 roughly, but I found it's a little better to mix it heavier. So we're actually going to mix it more of a 40-60. More so 60 paint, 40 thinner, just to make it a little bit heavier. So we're going 2 milliliters of thinner. We're going about 2.5 of the clear itself. Mix that real carefully in here. Don't usually mix it in the airbrush. That's usually not a thing, but yeah, every once in a while I get lazy and I'll do it this way. So the secret to this is putting it on by thin layers, letting that layer dry, and then hitting it again with another layer. That is the secret to this. If you just start hosing it on, thinking, yep, it's going to run on you, because this will run pretty easy. So this is, you got to be patient with this stuff. So we're going to test the spoon as always. Beautiful. So Just give it some light coats. Keep it even. That's where we're at so far. Nothing big, it's just we're just hazing it at this point. So we're gonna go a little heavier with it. Get a little bit there, and then we'll go over here. Same thing. We'll give it another shot here. So at this point we're just going to let it sit for a little bit and let it tack up, and we'll give it another shot. Okay, we let that tack up just a little bit, so we're going to start the same spot we left off with. And then once again we're going to give kind of a medium to light coat. Once again, we're going to let that sit. So you can see we're starting to generate a little bit of a tint. Not too bad, but we're going to work on it, keep building some color up, and we'll get it a little more and a little more. Alright, so now we're going to give this a little heavier coat. Painting it this time to where it's almost a nice wet. So if you hold it just in the light, you can see as it's just nice and wet on you, wet spray. Leave it at that. We'll let it tack out for a minute. So we're starting to achieve some nice color there. A little low on our paint, so we should have enough to finish the job. So we're going to look it over, make sure we're even. I think this side here needs a little more. So we're going to hit this side first, and we're going to come back at it. Side. So I'm looking at it in the light so you can see where it's kind of still fade, it's kind of fuzzy on some parts. I want to make sure it's clear all the way around. Just nice wet looking, but not too much. Once it's that wet, achieve that wet look, then stop. You're done. Because other than that, you're going to keep going. It's going to run on you. Okay, we're going to let that sit. Looking good so far, looking good. That looks really nice with that black. So we're going to let that sit for another 5 minutes, and we'll give it one more coat, and we'll call it done. That's looking really good. Alright guys, we're going to give it one more shot. As you can see, as that starts to cure out, we're getting that really nice shine. We've got a couple of specks in there. I want to try to avoid those at all costs because they will show up on the other side. But that's just how it's going so far, but that's alright. So we're going to give it one more hit. This is set for 5 minutes. I actually watched the clock, 5 minutes on the dot. So we have just enough paint to probably finish it out for one more run here. You can see we're right at the bottom. So we're just going to try to get it the best we can, one more shot. And that's as good as she's going to get. So same thing, just a nice, just watch for the shine in there. You see where it's hazy, then you need a little bit more, but that's it, nothing more. So we can get that haziness on there. So we want to get to where it's clear like that back window. Like so. Checking my paint because we're running low. Looks pretty good there, and we are about out of paint. Alright guys, so out of the dehydrator, I didn't bake it very long, just enough to get it to where it's not pretty much sticky, but I just want to take this off here. Really, you want to let this sit, the longer the better, because this stuff here will stay sticky for a long time. And I'm playing like danger here to take this tape off, but I just kind of wanted to show you how this looks, and I'm trying to be ultra careful with it. Just to give you an idea. So there we have it. So it turned out pretty cool. So I'm going to go through and now I'm going to go through and polish this out here, because I may have gotten some overspray, which I'm sure. But that turned out pretty good, and you can see it's pretty even, pretty equal. So that'll look really nice inside that car, as you can see. So I thought I'd show you guys a little bit on how I do that. It'd been nice if we didn't get the dust in there. But that's just how it goes. Not a big deal. But yeah, you want to try to avoid that at all costs, obviously, because any little dust will really show up on the other side of that. The other thing too, like I say, you just got to be very patient with it. If you're just going to go on and just layer and hose it and hose it and hose it, yeah, you're going to get to where it's going to run, or it's going to sag, and it's going to build up in the corners. So just give it a lot of nice even coats, and that's how you end up with. So I think that turned out pretty nice considering. So there you go guys, I thought I'd show you real quick how I like to do it. Like I say, a lot of it just light coats and let it set, let it flash between coats, and just give it as many coats as you need to get that desired tint you're looking for. I think it looks a lot better than our original window that we started out with, so that'll look pretty sharp. Alright guys, that's all I got for you for right now, so we will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.